We are pleased to partner with Towboat US, Southern Crown Partners, Sonic, and visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to promote sober skippers on board all boats. Obviously, the light, crisp taste of a Mitch Ultra is perfect for satisfying those taste buds while out on the water. Be sure to drink responsibly and to designate a sober skipper on your boat before leaving the dock. Do it for your family, your friends, and all those on the water. Remember that our friends from SCDNR are working tirelessly to protect our resources and each and every one of us. Let's do our part to have 0 fatalities on our waters along the Grand Strand. We can all support this by reporting any intoxicated captains to your local law enforcement office. Become a sober skipper and take the pledge. We will see you on the water.
In Myrtle Beach, you always go at your own pace. Lie out on the sand, lie out by the pool, go boogie boarding, go surfing, walk the boardwalk, walk the marsh walk, golf at one of 90 golf courses, mini golf at one of 50 mini golf courses, fish off a pier, fish from a chartered boat, go shopping, get drinks, eat the freshest seafood. The list is exhaustive, but the experience isn't. You can go all out or do nothing at all. How you relax is up to you. There is so much to do and explore, whether you're traveling with friends, family, or just yourself. With 60 miles of beach, you're going to find your place. If this sounds like what you need, then this is where you belong.
All right, folks, welcome back to HOA Life, talking the good, the bad, and the English. Got my good buddy, the one and only Steve Goldfinch Sr. here with me, and a crew this morning to talk about those wonderful HOAs that we all get to enjoy and reside in. And I got an HOA story we'll talk about later, because, of course, we're always going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly every week.
Right,
Steve?
Got an HOA story.
I do have.
Is it nice? Is it going to give us a good feeling? Is it going to take us through the week where we feel comfortable? No.
If you know my wife, which you know my wife, no, it will not give anybody a warm, fuzzy feeling except for her.
Okay. Well,
we'll talk about it later.
We've got some interesting people today.
Here we do.
This is good stuff.
So you want to start off, and let's do some introductions real quick?
Yeah.
And
Brian? No, Brian.
Brian.
The
joys of live. All right, you got it. Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Hey, if it wasn't for technology, we wouldn't be doing this. Brian, are you there with us?
I'm with you. I have no idea what just happened.
We don't either, but I'm glad to hear it. Give us a test one more time so we can hear you, sir.
Okay, I'm here.
Perfect. Okay, Brian, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, and we're excited to have you on the program.
Oh, great. Thank you, Steve. Brian Dumont, CEO of Yardnique. We're a commercial landscape company that is based throughout the Southeast in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. And it's a pleasure to be here.
God, it's great.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and you're also known as Phoenix in this area, right?
We are, yeah. So Yardnique family of companies. We've been around for 29 years, and we brought others into the fold, or the family of companies, as we call it. And Phoenix is definitely our local presence in the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area.
Good. Well, I think one of the biggest line items in a budget, on any HOA budget, is landscaping. And I think that this is we have pretty much on this program ignored that piece of the budget. Board members, homeowners need to understand and know what services are available through a company like yours. And the ability to get you on here is quite an honor, and we would love to understand what you do, how you do it, but more understanding about the culture of what you've got going, and how that affects the individual neighborhoods. Also very interested in talking with you about scope of work and the things that will allow us to understand what a board needs to do to utilize your company in the most efficient way. So those are my goals for the day.
I love it.
But we've got to go around the table, and we've got to get some other introductions done. So, Bradley, if you could tell us who you are, what you do.
My name's Bradley Feuss. I'm with Strategic Claim Consultants. We are public adjusters, work almost exclusively within the condo association market, with associations, property managers, etc., helping with large loss asset protection when it comes to insurance claims. I run the Carolinas office out of Charlotte, but we are located throughout the coast from Texas all the way up to Virginia.
I didn't know Texas was a coast. Did you?
There is a coast on
Gulf
Texas.
of America, baby.
Gulf
Yeah.
of America, baby.
It's
I
not the
love it.
prettiest, but it's there.
There are a few oil rigs involved.
Yes, you can see a whole lot of them.
And some big speckled trout.
Oh my gosh! So
Very big.
I think from the layman's standpoint, Bradley, I mean, it's just important for us to understand. You've never heard of a public adjuster. You've never heard of this concept. Put it in layman's terms.
Okay.
What do you do every day?
What we do every day when we work with clients, we advocate for the policyholder. In this case, it is the condominium association board.
Right.
So as public adjusters, the most basic way to think about it is if you have an insurance claim,
Yep.
insurance company will send out an adjuster.
Yep.
That adjuster works for the insurance company, it doesn't work for you.
Right.
As a public adjuster, we are licensed the same exact way with one big caveat.
Right.
We can't work for an insurance company. We can only represent the policyholder.
Perfect.
So that's how we fit into the process. What we do is we do everything that the policyholder is required to do to document, present, and value the claim and negotiate that with the insurance company to make sure that the association gets what they're entitled to, put their property back to pre-loss condition.
Perfect.
Not a penny less, not a penny more.
And is there any preemptive information you need or do or site visits you do prior to that? Or is that something very common or not common?
Well, it is common. There's a lot of things that we like to do is we like to kind of be a resource and educate the boards and the associations ahead of time on what a claim could look like, what you need to do on the front end. One of the things we also do is we do these pre-loss agreements where we will go out and we will inspect the property before an event occurs.
Mm-hmm.
We will review the policies to make sure that there aren't any deficiencies, and if there are deficiencies, the association knows them ahead of time, right? Some of the things you can run into on that is the roofs may be at actual cash value.
Yeah.
There may be different exclusions that take away coverage. So you need to know what that is ahead of time. The other thing that does is that allows the association to be able to provide to the insurance company what their risk looked like prior to the loss.
So preemptive.
Preemptively,
know what
because
it looks
that will take away the that was pre-existing damage. Were those repairs done previously? So the more you can do that, and the more you can actually have a plan in place, the better off you are when something does happen, and then you know the folks that you need to call in that process.
Perfect. And what is the cost of something like that preemptive plan, that pre-positioning?
Typically with us,
Yeah.
there's no fee for that.
Excellent. So if you're a board member in a condominium, you are being foolish. And those are my words.
Yeah.
You're being foolish by not taking advantage of someone who's on your side when it comes down to processing a claim.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%. It boils down to you don't know what you don't know.
That's
right.
it. That's it.
And we've got the gentleman on from the landscaping company. What we find is there are so many resources available to the management companies and the managers. You've got your landscaping companies, you got your pool companies, you got your roofers. What a lot of them are missing is their actual having their own adjusters or somebody that they can call as a resource.
Sure.
So we just kind of fit in that into the process that same way. But the education goes a long way. You may not need to use us on every claim.
All right.
But the more you know, the better decisions the board can make for themselves and the community.
Perfect. I feel like you've set.
Sounds very important, yeah.
It is important.
It sounds very important.
Now we've got another very important guest.
We do. He sells fire insurance, too.
This is Gene. Gene, tell us who you are.
I'm Gene Foster.
Yep. And Gene.
Gene, get a little closer to the mic, buddy.
Gene,
There we go.
Where do you live? You live in a neighborhood?
Yes,
An
I live
H-
in the Meadows of St. Patrick.
There we go.
Here in Myrtles Inlet.
Good.
Yeah.
It's an HOA.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. And you would consider yourself to be the average HOA owner?
Yes.
No role on the board.
No role on the board. No.
Don't sit in a committee.
Nope.
Don't do security.
Smart man.
I'm retired.
You're retired. Good. You know, we haven't had a balance in these conversations, Captain E. We haven't had a balance of just homeowners that are in this room. We've talked to board members. We've talked to experts in their fields. We have people like Brian that's going to give us, expert advice
Yep.
on one of the largest line items in the budget. But we don't talk enough to just the average Gene.
Thank you.
And at this point or another, we may ask you.
I'm not average enough, Gene.
You're not average enough. You are extraordinary. All right, so Brian, we want to set the stage. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you.
Tell us what you do, how you do it, and what business you're conducting in the Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, Charleston, Columbia, Brunswick County areas.
Yeah, no, happy to do that, Steve. Like I was referencing, commercial maintenance is really our focus. 90% of our business is on the maintenance side, working with a lot of HOAs. HOAs are what we do. We picked up our first HOA in 1999. And one of the things I'm most proud of is the fact that we still have an HOA we picked up from 1999. So
Wow.
That to me is a true testament of just doing what you say you're going to do. And we cut a lot of grass. That's when people say, what do you do for a living? I cut a lot of grass. And we develop partnerships with folks in the communities. And we're really proud of that. And some of the employees that started with Yardnique 29 years ago in the family of companies are still with us, and now their kids work with us. So it's been a true blessing and an honor over the years.
That's great.
But yeah, we develop partnerships.
Right. E, do you remember, just to interrupt you, Brian, do you remember
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
it was an honor and when it was a matter of pride? I don't know if you're old enough for this.
Yard of the month.
It was a matter of pride where you did not have grass in your yard. Have you ever heard this?
No.
My grandmother swept her yard. It was black
Wow.
dirt, and not a leaf or a weed existed.
I'm going to need to remind my neighbors about that.
Yep.
Yeah, my German short hairs. My German short hairs, Brian. You can imagine. I'm in one of Steve's properties, a very small footprint for our yard, and I've got 2 German short hairs and a yellow lab that's 110 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to tell you, Brian,
I don't have much
Brian,
grass.
My grandmother and great-grandmother swept their yards with old-style brooms that they made and made sure whenever company was coming that there wasn't a leaf, a stick, or a weed in that yard. Isn't that amazing? And here you
That's
are
impressive.
mowing hundreds and thousands of acres of grass on a daily basis that you put down in order to grow.
That's right.
And then you turn around and fertilize it, treat it, and mow it. It's ironic to me. So thanks for telling me what you do, basically. Now tell me, how does a board of directors most efficiently use a landscaping company to perform the duties they need within the budgeted amount and get the best value for their dollar? Give us just 3 simple bullet points that a board member needs to know about what you do and how to make you most efficient?
Well, I think that's a really good question. And I heard the comment before about relying on the experts. We've got a lot of experts in our company. I have a landscape horticulture degree. I started off with design for a couple of years. So we have designers on staff that can really look at long-term projects for a community. And just like us, communities age. And if we don't take care of our communities, they will age out. And there's a lot of new communities popping up all around. And you got to protect your investment. So I think the first thing would be is to really partner with somebody that is not just going to provide a mow, edge, trim, blow service, but somebody that can really look at long-term projects with you. Because every board has a budget, but we do not succeed if we don't help you manage that budget over multiple years.
Right.
And what I mean by that is it goes beyond a landscape maintenance contract.
Yep.
Because the second point is, Steve, there's always somebody cheaper. There will always be. There are so many landscapers. I think last time I saw, there was almost 1 million landscape contractors in the United States that are registered.
Oh, I thought that was
Okay,
Myrtle
so
Beach. I did. I
yeah,
swear.
and Myrtle Beach too. Yeah,
It feels like
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, amen. It's an easy barrier to entry, right?
Yeah.
Pickup truck and some mowers, and people can call themselves a landscaper.
Yep. Joe Bob is in business.
Yeah. So I think if that's what a board is going for, there's always somebody out there. And I think the mistake number two is the fact that uh, less is more and cheaper is better. And we have seen
Hmm.
time and time again when, for whatever reason, maybe somebody on the board knows somebody, it's a family member, a friend, and they want to help this person get started. Totally get it, understand it, but just know the risk that's coming along with that. Neglecting a community can take years to bring it back to the level it once was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think making sure business decisions are not just driven on price and really looking at the value there. And then, and then the third is just having a true partner that educates the homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks move in from different parts of the country,
Yep.
different parts of the U.S. that maybe are not accustomed to the soil or the grass types or just the plants themselves in that area.
Yep.
So making sure you utilize the experts that you partner with to hold seminars, to really get connected with the community and develop this long-term partnership. And it helps everyone. It helps the board. It helps the board members really educate homeowners. So you've got this unified look that may not be maintained by the landscaper, but man, we can really help out with educating some of these homeowners that maybe aren't familiar with some of those surroundings.
You mean you would come to a seminar, or you would come to some sort of like even an annual meeting or something like that, and give a brief report on what you're doing for the association and how to best utilize your services?
Huh.
100%. Yeah,
Wow.
it's just, it's,
Wow.
even, like Earth Day and all these things that are really part of who we are. Having cookouts for the communities. And, sometimes we'll even have a plant sale that we can offer plants that are, at a discounted rate and help and educate folks with just seminars that we hold that day.
Wow.
Or annual meetings is another great example of just really educating folks, because what we're doing to the master communities and even the maintenance-free homes
Yep.
and townhomes,
Mm-hmm.
what we do applies to every single residence there,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So you really don't need to differentiate. All we're doing is on mass scale, but the turf programs we use, the pruning techniques, and how we maintain a yard, it's
Yep.
all similar to somebody's personal residence.
Yeah, you mentioned one of the toughies. If I get called into a room for a board meeting in a maintenance-free community, it is always going to be the same scenario. We're not maintaining the property, the individual yards, in the way that they would, and they bought in a maintenance-free neighborhood because they didn't want to do it anymore, but they still have an opinion of how it should be done. That is frustrating at times. What's your experience with that, and how do you overcome that?
Steve, that is a fantastic point. I have stood in front of many, many annual meetings, boards, etc., educating folks on that. We are not private gardeners.
Correct.
And a lot of folks, maybe they're at a stage in their life where they wanted a maintenance-free life, right? And a lot of times they're sold these communities like, we're in charge of everything. Like, that means you have to do nothing. Well, that's not really the case. Maintenance-free is, hey, we're going to take care of your yards. We're not going to water your plants, or we're not in charge of.
If you decide to
Maybe if
plant
you wanted-
roses, if you decide to plant roses in your flower bed and not tell anybody, and they have a different requirement for watering, and they die,
Correct.
that's not part of what we agreed to do.
Wait, I thought that was your fault.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't paint houses, right? We're
Yep.
not in charge of.
Yep.
And it's interesting, and that's why it goes back to, Steve, just educating, because
Sure.
what I've found is a lot of hey, builders are out there to sell homes.
Yep.
Totally get it.
Yep.
I've got family members that are real estate agents that sell homes, and they're out there, and I mean, they will tell folks you have to do nothing. Well, that's not 100% true. And
Right.
by the way, there's a reason why your dues are what they are.
Yep.
We're not. If we were to charge you, call it $250 a month to come out and maintain your yard, that would be a private gardener, and those are residential landscapers. We're trying to maintain 100 to 1,000 homes at one time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different mindset. There's
Yep.
different mowers, there's different equipment, right? And we do it, and that's why there's scopes of works that the HOAs develop for a large community, and we're not order takers and doing private gardening.
I get it. My daughter lives in Cary, North Carolina, or Morrisville in the Research Triangle, and the two amazing things about her neighborhood that I've always just giggled at is that, number one, her grass is green 365 days a year.
Oh, man. Yeah, up there.
It's about 4 to 5 inches tall, and it's like a carpet. You could lay on it and not touch the ground. I've never seen anything like that grass. I have no idea what it was. And I was told that the
Zoysia.
Sass family, S-A-S-S,
Oh, really?
the Sass family that designed all that, had that grass designed for that area. And I don't know what it is, but that's number one amazement. The number two amazement for me is my daughter doesn't even go outside. The landscapers come through. It looks like a swarm of bees coming through the neighborhood. They push, they trim, they mow, they trim, they blow, and they're gone from her cul-de-sac in 30 minutes, 45 minutes total. And she doesn't have any expectation other than that. She knows that they're not going to go in there and take care of whatever she's done in the flower bed. She knows not to expect. And she's an informed owner, and it's such a relief to see her not complaining about it. She does what she needs to do to perform the maintenance on her yard that she has created, and then she accepts what the association is doing under their contract wholeheartedly and without argument and without dissatisfaction. The easy thing about this is, though, they've all designed and left their yards to where the mow, trim, and blow basically makes the place look really tight and nice. And if you don't go outside of those parameters and start doing things that change that environment, then the whole neighborhood looks fantastic, and it is maintenance free to that extent. So again, education and attitude is so important. She's in her 40s, so I think that also has something to do with it. She's not like Gene here, set in their ways. Gene, I brought you here just to pick on you.
Yep.
So I think that's important, and like I said, if I get called into a maintenance-free neighborhood, it is because of expectations that were never set, or were set by someone that says, "Please buy this house. Please buy this house." You'll never have to lift.
You'll never
have to lift a finger. Okay, so talk to me about condos. Let's switch gears just a little bit, Brian. If I get called into a room in a condo complex, traditionally it's about areas of the grass. I don't hear a lot about bush trim trees. I hear a good bit about the grass that's trying its best to grow under these oak trees, these live oaks that are trying their best to kill this grass. And something you said is the unfamiliarity of the neighborhood, of the people from the northern sector of the country, with our challenges as far as bugs and trees trying to take out our grass systems. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. No problem. Communities age, and a lot of these communities, putting in oaks, they're gorgeous. They have a root system that is tremendous. And when you look at a canopy of an oak tree, for instance, if you look at how wide that canopy is, the roots are about that wide. So that's a good rule of thumb always that people don't understand. They think, oh, the trunk is going down in the ground and the roots must be right around there. No, look at the top of that tree, and that's how wide those roots go out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now you take the soil conditions, sandy soils, hot, humid, very buggy, like you said, right?
Yep.
When you think about the soil type sandy, the water doesn't stay around there like it would in a clay soil. So it's not holding water. And you think about a bathtub, bathtubs fill up with water, and a clay soil can really keep that water in there for a long period of time. Well, you take sandy soils, and that water is going to penetrate and filter right through that soil in, I don't want to say seconds, but it doesn't stay there for long, not like it would in a clay soil environment.
Right.
So that's what we're dealing with there. And then you take these oak trees with these massive root structures, and who do you think's going to win in a sandy soil environment with grass, or these massive oaks that are vying for water in these drought conditions? And that's what we have. We have hot, humid conditions at times in the summer, and these oak trees are going to win, no matter what grass type we talk about, right? St. Augustine, Bermuda, they love hot. They thrive on that. So that's a great choice. Then there's zoysia, right? There's the zoysia variety, which will tolerate some shade. So when we have these large, massive oak trees, you've got these big canopies. What's going to happen to the grass? If somehow the grass is able to survive and take the water intake it needs, and it's able to fend off the oak tree root system, which good luck with that. But if it does, now it's getting shaded out. So you're seeing the St. Augustine, the Bermuda starting to die off. Zoysia is a great opportunity to grow in those areas because they can tolerate some shade. However, you're still dealing with the root components, okay, of the competition of water.
Yep.
And these are in drought conditions in the summer months is what I'm referring to. And Steve, you talked about Cary, North Carolina, right? Raleigh area.
Yeah.
A lot of what you're seeing is that fescue, right? Tall fescue, it stays around for 12 months out of the year. Beautiful grass, will not grow in these hot, humid conditions, right?
Yep.
So a lot of folks that are from up north think, oh, well, why can't my grass stay year round? It can't, because we can't grow that type of grass in the southeast like the Myrtle Beach area.
Sure.
So I would say in the beginning, in communities, condo associations are like, this is notorious for this. They want to put trees in, right? Maybe it's code, maybe it's what they want to do to just, they cleared a lot of land, they're building these condos, and it looks beautiful in the beginning. But over time, those oak trees may need to, that's why you need to refer to a landscape expert,
Right.
to develop a landscape plan to say, hey, you know what? These oak trees are so big now. We really value this grass. Let's put in some trees that are accepted by the municipalities, but they're not going to get as big. And just like anything in life, we need a checkup, and sometimes we just need to change what we're doing. And you might need to replace those oak trees with a variety of tree that is smaller. That could be an option, Steve.
Yep.
Another option could be, hey, quit fighting it and just put down, landscape it, put a ground cover down, put mulch, put like whatever it is, but because that is a losing battle. And it's not the landscaper's fault. It's just you're dealing with Mother Nature.
Now, is
So
that's an interesting
two options.
Yeah, an interesting concept. Is some of the love grasses and landscape cover that stuff's going to survive under there sometimes?
100%. Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
can
hadn't
find some
thought about that.
drought tolerant native, drought tolerant native plants.
Yep.
Muley grass, native love grass, right? Muley grass actually has a nice pinkish purplish
Perfect.
plume in the fall. Like
Yeah.
there's some options. You talked about your grandmother's house, right? There's artificial turf out there now, which is crazy, and you're starting to see it more and more in areas. I mean, we can't mow it, but there's things that we could do, but it's a good alternative. There's a couple options, and that's why you partner with somebody to just provide those options for you, to tell you the benefits of, and the benefits and the negatives of all of it. But there's definitely options out there.
Gene, are you in a maintenance-free neighborhood? Do you have? Do you expect the HOA to cut your grass?
No,
What do you do?
I hire a contractor to come in and cut the grass.
And all your neighbors do.
Most of the neighbors do that.
Got it.
A couple
Okay.
of them mow their own lawn.
Gotcha. And so within that neighborhood, do you guys have any amenities? Do you have a pool or a pool
No
house?
pool, no clubhouse, no fitness center.
So no complex landscaping issues. Most
no.
of the landscaping in your neighborhood is owned individually like yours.
Yes.
So you really have no expectations of the HOA to do anything with landscaping other than the entrance and some of the grass strips around that they own?
They handle the light poles and the common areas.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, that's interesting information, Brian. I tell you, people think, well, that's logical and it's something that makes sense. But I mean, I'm sitting here after 30 years in the business, hearing things today that I have not heard. I've wondered, I have discussed it, and have just not heard the specifics that you've just given us. And I don't know why I have not sat there and thought about an additional or alternative land cover of some sort. Or landscaping that will, be tolerant, drought tolerant, and tolerant to these trees. Unfortunately, we can't remove these oaks like you mentioned because some of them are 200 years old, and that's where we're going to end up. So I need to get my great grandmother out here sweeping the dirt under these oak trees, and we might survive that. The neighborhood's opinion. I can tell you that our company probably gets 8 to 10 calls a day in the summertime during the drought periods where the irrigation system simply can't keep up. And whether it's through budget, running those pumps, or whether it's through just weather-related time frames where it's just not going to keep up. And at this point, we hear a lot of complaints. So you would think that a company this size or an HOA this complex could at least keep the grass green. And I think there's always an answer that that's possible if the budget is unlimited. But their budget is the first thing they concern. Gene, one of your big concerns is that your HOAs stay low. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when when we're balancing low assessments on a monthly or quarterly basis with the budget, that is a big factor. And Brian, that you've been very helpful. I'm not going away from you, but I have got to quit ignoring Bradley over here. So
It's okay.
a question that I have for Bradley that's been just kind of pondering on is what's the best way for a board to move forward with this preemptive plan, with this pre-selected inspection where you can go through and figure out and tell. You're going to sit in a boardroom with them after this and tell them
100%.
what they don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Typically, the best way for us to do that is actually through the associations that are managing the property.
Okay.
So it's another value add that they can bring to the board,
Right.
and then initially have a conversation with them, explain, number one, what it is we do, the importance of that, and also importance of doing the pre-loss assessment,
Okay.
and then going from there,
Right.
right? Because a lot of times, if I walk straight into a board, number one, it's hard to find the people,
Yep.
and to get them all in a place to be able to have a fruitful conversation. So for me and for us, working through the association that manages the properties is the best way.
Now, are you going to put somebody on the roof to look at shingles on a 4-story condo project with 85 buildings?
It gets droned. They use drones to do it all.
Perfect.
So,
Okay. Yep.
and we use that a lot when we're documenting the loss.
And
right?
is that drone part of the pre-planning?
Part of the pre-planning.
So if you've got a drone that's been up on their roof prior to the storm and the insurance company or the adjuster claims that there's a deductible or that there's an adjustment to that claim because there was previous damage, you've got video proof that is not true because they're just wild-ass guessing.
Yeah, so sometimes that's whether if it's a big coastal storm or if it's hail, a lot of times positions that are get taken is that's pre-existing damage or that has happened over a number of different events. So if we have documentation that's showing, hey, this is what the roof looked like 4 months ago, and now we have pictures of what it looks like now, you can really delineate what happened as a result of that storm and take out that opportunity or that defense that it was pre-existing damage.
Perfect. Now, is that in catastrophic only, or do you feel like if there was a big hailstorm that came through, you'd be able to help them there?
100% hailstorm. Now, kind of on the reverse side of that is if we get up and we're taking the pictures and we're looking at the roof going, hey,
there's some damage.
This roof is not in great shape, then that's something that would have to be addressed through whether it's capital expenditures but at least then what the situation is. Because
if I'm a board, I'm going to want to know that
Yes.
ahead of time, not when the adjuster goes on the roof and says, by the way, we're going to do 20%, 40%, 50% cut back on your claim because of this environment.
100%. And that's getting back to educating the board on what the situation looks like.
Yep.
And what Brian has been talking about. And, I live in an HOA. If there's better education, you can make better decisions and you can understand what the situation is turning out to be.
Perfect.
So I think it's absolutely imperative to do that on as many of the properties as you can. It just eliminates a problem, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of curious. Brian, do you ever have any insurance claims to landscaping from hailstorms or catastrophic storms? There's no such thing, is there?
There's no coverage for landscaping or any of that. Even like if we have a large hurricane,
Yep.
all the debris removal,
Yep.
there's no coverage for that.
That's why we have a debris removal a contingency line in the budget.
Now, the only time where there could be landscaping coverage is if you have trees that fall on the property, and that gets into a whole different other can of worms on the amount that is covered and how it's covered.
And where that line is.
And where that line is.
And so I think that's important. I said that somewhat facetiously because I have a lot of boards that will sit in a room, look at me straight face, and we're talking about people that know insurance and that have had a business in New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey or Rhode Island, and they know that your insurance company is not a maintenance company. They know that when you have a loss through a storm, that your insurance company is not going to come in and fix that loss on landscaping. But they'll try every time to see if there's any coverage for this limb removal, trash and debris removal. So I tell you, it's interesting what people try.
Oh.
And Brian, have you had a lot of feedback on that from catastrophic storms?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that was just well said. As far as we participate in helping clean up storms, but generally, we've never been privy to any other knowledge as far as how the HOAs are handling it. It's usually the HOAs that just pay us directly, right?
Yeah.
So we're not really, we're not in tune with that, and we generally don't get involved with that. That's
it.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way, but yeah, I'm sure that's the whole reason.
We've heard it. Can I ask, so you've got a system designed for catastrophic debris removal? Do we have a system design? Do you have services available within that realm?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you do that for properties that are not currently under contract with you? If they called you in specially to do the debris removal?
That's a great question, Steve. Right. First and foremost, we always want to take care of our partners, our clients.
Good.
Good. That would be the number one that we always, when we see a potential storm coming in. I mean, nowadays we're doing, who knows how many inches of snow we could have or ice we could have, right?
Yeah.
Now we have to, but again, like I said, we have resources all throughout the Carolinas. So we're able to pull folks to other markets, and we've done it right there in your backyard. We've been able to do that. So we can handle all types of storms. We're ready for it. So number one is we're always trying to prepare up front. And then number two, it's like being proactive, reaching out to our clients to say, hey, here's what we're thinking is coming. Here's our plan of attack. Do you want us to help you? And that's number one. And then the second one would be to contact the Wakamasons of the world and say, hey, we work with a lot of your property managers. We're also willing to extend our services to other managers to help other communities that you maintain, right? So that would be our approach. Do we also get calls from outside? And 100%. And we do everything we can to help them, but we always want to make sure we take care of our existing partnerships first.
Perfect. That's great. So, Brian, we're getting ready to wrap up soon. Our third guest did not join us today. We're excited to have her next week. Could you tell me So board is listening to this. Tell me how to get in touch with your company, how to start the process if they're not a current client.
No, that's great. That's great. Thank you, Steve. We'd love to continue to partner with new partnerships and continue to build on the existing relationships we have. In that market, in the Myrtle Beach market, we're under the umbrella of Phoenix. So Phoenix is a great resource there to help with the HOAs, management companies. Go to our website, www.yardnique.com. It can direct you there.
Great website, by the way. Great website.
Oh, thank you.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
great website.
Very interactive. We're looking at it now. We're going through your website.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to pick up the information we need there on Yardnique. That's great. Good.
That's what I would recommend. That'd be a great starting point, and somebody will reach out to you and that local presence to get some conversation started.
Yeah. I'm running out of time, but I'm hoping you'll come back and join us as quickly as next week or the week after that, Brian. There's hundreds of questions. I've got these members that have asked me questions about landscaping. Would you join us again?
Yeah, please.
That sounds great.
That's good.
I didn't want to interrupt, Steve, but I did have a question pertaining to winter rye that I decided to load my backyard with, and it did great. Listen, it's done great. But now I've got to prepare.
You want free landscaping advice?
Now I've got, I do want free landscaping advice. But I would, I do want to know what I need to do to get prepared for that transition if it happens. I don't even think I'm going to have centipede left. I don't know what to do. Anyway, I'll pick your brain next time.
Yeah.
Happy to help you with that. I will give you 2 bits of advice. One is patience. You've got that rye that came in. That's beautiful, but have patience in the early spring up. And the second is cut that rye short to let the centipede pop through.
That's what I need.
I told my wife that.
Now you know you're right.
I'm right, but
hey,
I can't tell her that.
If you're giving free advice to him, would you please come look under my live oak trees and do something?
Yeah, he needs help, but let me tell you.
Hey, Brian, I set you up. It's my live oaks that I'm worried about, and I have resodded every year for the last 4 years. And at this point, $99 a pallet, and doing the work myself is just becoming more like a spring exercise regimen rather than.
Look at this body. I mean, it's working.
I tell you
it's
what.
working.
That's great.
Hey, Steve, I got advice for you.
Oh, no. Get a new yard?
Grab a broom. Grab a broom.
Grab a broom. Start sweeping.
I got to go cut broom straw.
Brian, that's awesome.
And wrap it. That's good.
That's funny.
And thank you, Brian. Well, Bradley, will you come back and see us?
Anytime.
We have just scratched the surface.
You in town a bunch?
I'm in town all the time.
How do we get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Well, you can get in touch with us through our website, www.strongclaims.com.
Strong, S-T-R-O-N-G.
S-T-R-O-N-G. Claims.
Uh-huh.
You can reach out to me via my cell phone, 704-340-5757. Or if anybody wants to reach out through your managers. Be more than happy to do it that way.
That's
Good.
right.
We'll put this on the social media.
Yeah, we will.
We'll
yeah,
make
we
sure
will.
that everything is done. Perfect. And
Brian, you got to come see me because you get a hat for being a guest on the show.
Yep.
So you got to come over here. You got to come down to Merle's Inlet and come see me, and I'll get you set up.
Yeah, I think the plan was to come. I think we said next week, right, Steve?
I think so.
All right. Perfect.
Unfortunately, I'm traveling tomorrow morning, early, first thing. So.
Now, does Gene get a hat?
Gene gets a hat? Absolutely. I'm going to get him a camo hat, though.
Gene, thank you.
I know he wants camo.
I love hats.
All right, good deal.
I'm thinking about doing my yard in AstroTurf.
Yeah.
I thought about it until I priced it.
Stephen did.
Stephen did. I love it.
And when my dog goes over there and goes on that AstroTurf, I feel
You
terrible.
feel terrible. I know. I did.
I'm like,
I know.
doing the dog away.
I
I'm
felt
like,
bad
no,
when
no.
I did it. I felt bad when I ran out there and peed. I felt terrible. Renee, can you bring the hose? Yeah.
We're at 10:45, right straight up. Good to see everybody. It's great talking to everybody.
Absolutely.
I'll expect you back here next week, Brian, And Bradley, I hope you can join us too.
If I can, I will.
We'll
Love
get
to.
your Yardnique information up on our sites, and we'll get the strong claims information up on our sites, and that phone number. And thank you so much for being here. Gene, you are
pleasure.
appreciated.
Yeah, Gene, thank you so much. Hey, it's great having you guys on. Listen, you can catch us every week. Remember, make sure you click like, subscribe, and share. Share. Hey, it's an HOA. We all got to deal with it, whether we live in one or not. So why not listen to us? We give free advice
Free
about the good,
from
the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, expert.